So you head in for your regular checkup thinking, okay, everything's probably fine, right? But some pretty amazing research just came out of the American College of Cardiology, and it looks like one of the most common screenings out there for women, mammograms, could be doing a lot more for our health than we thought.
Yeah, that's right. For years, the focus has always been on cancer and making sure that's all good. But turns out those same images, they might be hiding something else.
Like a secret message?
Exactly. And that message, it's all about your heart health.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So we're talking about something called breast arterial calcification, or BAC.
BAC, got it.
These are basically tiny calcium deposits, and they show up as little bright spots on your mammogram x-ray.
Huh, interesting.
And here's the thing. These calcifications, they're an early sign that you might have some heart trouble down the road.
Wow, so they're like a warning sign?
Pretty much. And the lead researcher on this, Dr. Theo Dapamide, he was saying this is huge, especially for women under 60. They could be getting a heart risk check at the same time as their cancer screening.
Two birds, one stone.
Exactly. Plus, heart disease is still the #1 killer for women in America. And a lot of times the symptoms are really subtle, easy to miss.
You don't even know what's happening.
Right. And there's actually research showing that women with this calcium buildup have way higher risk, like over 50% higher of heart disease and stroke.
Yeah.
So catching it early is key.
Okay, so how are they actually seeing these warning signs in the mammogram? It's all AI, right?
Bingo! They've built this super sophisticated AI, a deep learning model, basically, and they've trained it to spot those calcified vessels in the images.
So the AI is like a detective looking for clues.
That's a great way to put it, but it goes even further. This AI takes what it sees and combines it with your health records to actually figure out your risk of heart problems in the future.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And they train this AI on a ton of data, right?
Oh, yeah. Over 56,000 patients from Emory Healthcare over a period of years. That's a massive amount of information.
So the AI is like a student who aced med school.
Exactly. And Dr. Dapamide, he was saying that this is just the tip of the iceberg. AI is making it possible to see all this valuable stuff that we were missing before, hidden in plain sight. He calls it opportunistic screening, basically getting more out of the tests we're already doing.
So smarter, not harder, right?
Exactly. And the early results are looking really good. The AI was able to accurately put patients into different risk groups, low, moderate, and severe, just from their mammograms.
So it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is the connection they found between how much calcification there is and the chances of having heart problems later on, especially for women under 60 and between 60 and 80.
So this could be a real game changer for women.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for younger women, catching it early means you can make changes to your lifestyle and get treatment before it becomes a bigger problem.
Prevention is key. And they actually looked at survival rates too, right?
They did, and the results are pretty powerful. Women with the most calcification had a much lower chance of surviving the next 5 years compared to women with very little calcification.
Wow, that's a big difference.
It is, and that's why this is so important. If we can identify who's at risk early on, it gives us a chance to step in and help people live longer, healthier lives.
So this AI could be a lifesaver. And it was a joint effort between Emory and Mayo Clinic, right?
That's right, a real dream team. And while it still needs to go through more testing and get FDA approval, the future is looking really bright.
So it's not quite ready for prime time yet.
Not yet, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And, they're not stopping there. They're looking into whether the same kind of AI could be used to spot signs of other conditions, too, all from mammograms.
So it's like this one test could tell us so much.
Exactly. It could change how we think about preventative health care altogether.
So what's the big takeaway for our listeners today?
Well, it might be time to rethink that mammogram. It might not just be about checking for cancer. It could also give you a heads up about your heart without any extra work on your part.
So it's like a bonus checkup.
Yeah, and think about it. What if all our regular screenings could do this? What if they could flag potential problems before we even knew they were there? There might be all sorts of hidden insights just waiting to be discovered.
That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And for all our listeners out there, stay curious, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.